Craig Robertson, and this is my Radical Bushwhacker. It's a 2024 model, currently living in Alexandria, Virginia. And yeah, we are at our first small camper meetup. I got online and bought this in Northeast Maryland. One of the things I had been doing was looking online. It boiled down to like 3 different types of trailers, and I happened to find a good price on it, and so that's the reason I went for this one. It's the 12 Rad, which is Radical, obviously, and what I was interested in for me was getting the upgraded suspension, and I also wanted a heavy-duty rack on it because I didn't know exactly how far I would be going with this over time, but I knew I would grow into it. Other ones I looked at, had some, like add-on components and things, and when this one came with it, I was like, oh, it's got everything together, and I don't have to kind of piece it together. So it came with the electric tongue jack. It is one of the upgrades over the I think over the ROK, but they do offer it as a dealer option too. So I know some dealers were adding them after the fact, but this one, it was standard.
Okay, and is that a mod, or did that come with it, the box?
The box is a box that my uncle had. It actually belonged to my grandmother initially. It was all rusty and everything. We cleaned it up and painted it to the same color as the frame. I went with that because, one, I was going to have to move this forward anyway to get the tongue box on, and I just decided I'd rather like lift it out than to disband it. I kind of like it.
It's very practical. It
yeah.
matches, and it's like a family heirloom. But you did add the tongue box.
I did add the tongue box. That's the typical Harbor Freight tongue box. I'm trying not to overinvest the first year, so I kind of just doing my mods a little at a time. But I did do this. When I got my solar generator, my idea was to get it where I could plug in here and bypass the inverter.
So basically you'd like to run the trailer off a portable power supply rather than bolting in or spending the money on batteries.
Yes, so the mods are right here on the side, the
quick connects, Andersons, and 12-volt plugs.
Correct.
And looks like an SAE 30 amp.
Yep. And then inside, I just used the base Renogy model 15 amp.
Absolutely.
Kept the battery that they gave me.
So you have some solar and you have some way to go.
Right.
Some battery supply for now until you get, I see you have the power station, so that's a future mod.
It is.
So help me out, because this is my first Radical that we have on the channel.
Sure.
What are, besides its size and its shape, it's kind of like half canned ham, flat back. It looks really good, but what are some of the features that come on this, features that don't come on the 10-foot Bushwhacker?
Well, I don't know that everyone that has the teardrop Bushwhacker has the drop downs on all 4 corners.
Okay, 4-way stabilizers. Right. And is this hot water and a furnace?
This is a furnace for the inside. It's the interior furnace. And then on the end is there's the hot water furnace on this side. So this is their instant hot water.
And an access panel, very unlike Braxton Creek to make it so easy for you.
Yeah,
outdoor
they did
shower.
Do some things right.
So you have an outdoor shower here. I see like reinforced fenders and steps all the way around. Outdoor speakers.
Absolutely, on both sides, and then inside. So the radio that's inside, you just, a little awkward, but the radio inside, you just hit the balance or the fade if you want it outside or inside.
Okay, so that's still very Braxton.
Still basic, yeah. They didn't like give you any other
Now, I know when the Bushwhackers came out with the 12-footers, they kind of did away with the galley, but it looks like you have both, right? You have a longer trailer and an exterior galley. You want to take us through what this is all about?
Yeah, so what they've included on this one is a 12-volt dorm style fridge, and I've got it full of drinks, but it's your typical fridge.
But it runs on 12 volts.
It does run on 12 volts. It sure does. And they put they put switches on here, one for the fridge so you can turn it off or on. And I had to label it because you forget which one is which. The other one's the lights. So they do have a light strip under here, gives you good lighting, and then these two lights above
Nice.
here.
And this is like
LEDs.
almost like the sun ray. They did throw the microwave in here for when you have shore power.
That's right. And I've used it. It's not the most powerful of microwaves, but it's a functional microwave.
So if you make a baked potato in there, it's going to take an hour.
Basically, I know it's like I might heat up, if my coffee cup gets cold and I put it in there, in a regular microwave, 30 seconds will do it. This one, it takes a whole minute, right?
All
So
right.
it's like,
So they went with a Blackstone.
they did go with the Blackstone, including the Blackstone, and of course with the quick release for the in and out. And now the only thing about this is you have to take this shield off and then flip this over to store it. So you do have to partially assemble it once you pull it out.
Kind of wait for it to cool down.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
most convenient thing, but it's nice to have it.
Yeah, and I put it underneath, so there's a place for it. But you just have to take this up, shove it in, and then put
It's
it
a
underneath.
pretty nice setup. Do you have hot and cold on this thing?
Hot and cold water. Yep, I've got it actually hooked up too.
Is
but
there a gray
that
tank on this trailer, or is it kind of just drain underneath?
No, it drains directly down.
Okay, so it
So-
does. There's no tank you have to drain.
Right, and I've got some fittings and hoses and things that, and a 5-gallon bucket I put under it.
Yeah,
So
let the modding begin.
yeah,
right?
let the modding begin. Mods like, for instance, and I saw somebody online already do it, like holders to hold this up. You think they would include it, right?
They
but
have to leave something for us to tinker with.
Right, I have to do. So, and also on the back here, I put one of my levels.
Very convenient.
And so I put
when
one
you
over
mix
here
it
and
up.
one on the side, so I can level on both.
Now, bushwhackers know about this style of galley hinge. How is it doing in the rain? Have you used it in the rain yet?
Well, just this particular time, since it rained on us early, it does have some runoff. Okay, so
They're making them bigger, but
it-
they don't necessarily.
it didn't get in here, but it did come down here and splash around and get it. So it's not great, but it's
That's all right, and
Yeah.
that's something else to
Yeah.
tinker with, right? We get
Yeah.
a longer hurricane hinge, and
right.
just
Yeah. So
some assembly is
I'm
required.
considering the 270 awning, and that would probably put an end to it. So this awning came with it. I want to check the name one more time before I lie to you. It's called IRV Shade, and it is exactly like the ARB.
They even named it so if you say it quickly,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
an ARG.
ARG.
All right, that's all right.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we're familiar with this, and I'm sure you're already starting to look at paint poles and.
Absolutely. I haven't. This is one of the few times I've deployed this since I bought it in December. Other times I've either been in a hurry or it's been so windy I didn't want to do it. Looking at some other folks, it does have the little seams and things I need to put if I want to get the wall set for it.
Absolutely.
So I can do the. So one other thing I'm trying to think of some of the differences is you get a window back here. So you don't just have the door window, you have this window. The AC creates a negative pressure inside. So I keep it a little cracked when I run the AC so it can breathe. So you'll see this when I get here. Okay, so open it up, standard lock I think, which is on most people's doors. I did buy the hanging set. I saw somebody's idea for that, so I went ahead and got the.
Nice.
Yeah,
We'll put a link in
put
the
all your
description.
trinkets in there. Whatever your pocket change is, it goes there. I did it for both sides. It's double doored. And it does give you function for privacy too, so I didn't block this one out.
Oh,
But
that's a great idea. So it's
Yeah.
like part curtain, light diffuser,
Yeah.
part thing to put all of your
Yeah,
trinkets in.
not the best in a Walmart parking lot at night because their lights still manage to get it. But the other ones I completely blacked out. I put a panel over them, and all these things I've got reference to where I got them on a sheet of paper, so I can give them. I've really enjoyed it. It's been an experience so far. My first time out was like 23-degree weather in the winter, and
So
but
it still has a propane furnace.
it still has a propane furnace.
It looks like they're going about the air conditioning slightly different. It's actually like a portable unit that they're venting to the outside, and the air's really coming out of it, so
Yep.
it's getting cold in there.
Yep, it is. It gets real cold in here. And one of the things I had to figure out was the mode settings, if I wanted it, like how to get it to kick off, because it does the same as the heat. It'll either freeze you out or not be cold enough, so you have to tinker with it a little bit. You find it does work the way it's supposed to. But
That's good. And
yeah.
I see you've already started the mods for the dog. You put a bunk bed in.
I put a bunk bed in. Mr. Davy Crockett over here.
Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Hey, Davey.
We kick each other around too much, and so yeah.
So he put the bunk bed in.
Yeah, he needed a bunk bed. Yeah, so that worked out pretty good. One of the things this has that others don't is a fireplace.
Oh, it has the electric fireplace, so it does produce heat and some ambience, but
It does.
shore power required.
It sure does. As a matter of fact, turn it on. You can see it, and it can brighten or change color.
So in addition to the propane furnace, it actually has 2 heat sources.
Yes. I got this just a month ago, and I set it up here for the first time. I arrived at 8:30 the other night, and it was raining, and we had to set it up in the dark for the first time. But believe it or not, it is not difficult to set up, but when it's dark and you can't see, there was a little difficulty, but it's nice. It's the 12-foot version. But it does haul when you roll it up. It hauls at a 7.5 foot length. So a lot of folks, you might want to consider a 10-footer.
That's a good point. You gotta. It's hard to store.
It is.
And you gotta end up doing, if you don't have an 8-foot bed, you gotta put it diagonal in your truck bed or.
Absolutely, it did fit inside my Bushwhacker, so it's fine.
Hey, 12-foot Bushwhacker, 12-foot clam set.
It fit in there.
So I see you have some power solutions. You have that nice BioLite. I like that. But these clam set rooms, you can't say enough about them. This transforms the camper lifestyle.
Yes.
To be able to eat your lunch someplace, whether it's raining or there's bugs.
Right.
This is a really nice one. I'll be sure to link this one, and I think it's
Yes.
time for me to upgrade mine, so I'm looking as well.
Yeah, and the pop out was easy, and then of course on the outside you can secure the pop out with a cord.
Yeah, there's
So it won't
to-
invert on you.
Yes, with these screen rooms, people are surprised how well they perform in bad weather.
Yeah.
I've had mine out in some really windy conditions, and
Yep.
they hold up. So with a bigger trailer, maybe let's just take a look at your truck for a second.
Okay. Yeah. This tow's great. The Ford Rangers have a 10-speed transmission, and it also has a tow mode. That tow mode makes a difference because it's not constantly battling to struggle for the right gear.
It's not hunting.
It's
when
not
you get up
hunting.
there.
It just makes it completely smooth.
So you've enjoyed towing, and it's been pretty effortless.
Effortless.
So one of the things we love about our tiny campers is that we can tow them anywhere. People are towing them with Subarus. This is a little bit bigger, so you do want to have like an SUV or a light-sized truck, but you didn't struggle with the Ford Ranger.
No, not at all. That's a 2.3 liter twin turbo. Been to Oklahoma and back about 3 times, and this thing towed all the way there and back both times. Now I don't know if I give it to the Ford Ranger or just in general having a Bushwhacker, but the fuel economy was between 14 and 15, somewhere in there.
Better than I'm getting.
So.
Well, listen, I really had a blast with you. Thank
Hey,
you
yeah,
so much.
No problem.
And we like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
Happy camping.